This is why feminine women love a clean household. If you click on this comment that I've left here, you'll go see this man's video, and the video is brilliant. And a lot of women are kind of frothing at the mouth about how it makes them feel. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then I'll just play the reel at the end of this video. So what makes the video really interesting is that there's a contrast. There's a pattern interrupt. There's a left and there's a right. There's a dark and then there's a bright. And we've seen the dark. We've seen the left-hand side, you could say. And we went into this thinking that this was going to be stuck in that realm. But then the video transitions into going the opposite direction, opposite of what you were thinking. So we're left with this emotion of surprise, and that's a great feeling. This is why magicians and other people are great at communicating, maybe not communicating, but giving emotions to women, because they like those nice emotions. They like feeling these emotions. And if you can do the same thing with your partner or romantic interest, this is going to maintain that natural spark. You always want to create some positive emotions, things such as surprise. It's okay to let emotions such as disturbance, anger happen, but it's even better when we can transition from one emotion to another, from negative to positive. Like that's a double hit, you could say. Women absolutely are addicted to that. No woman is addicted to someone who makes them feel bored. Another reason a lot of feminine women love that video is because it aligns with their personal beliefs, whether they're made aware of what the beliefs are or they're deeply subconscious and they're not aware of what those beliefs are. It's just in line with their belief system. So if they are happy that the house is clean, it's spotless, etc., it doesn't even matter if it's the bare minimum. It's in line with them. Because they feel in line, they're more likely to come to agreements. They're more likely to be relaxed. They're more likely to be open to saying yes. They're more likely to want to give sex, and etc. Sex being a gift from the woman, by the way. Also something very natural on her end. Now, the third reason that I found that women love this video goes to an even more ancient reason. And this is during the creation of Adam and Eve and when they sinned in the garden, right? It's explained there. So basically, there's this generalized blanket stereotype that the man is the protector and the provider, and there's the woman, she raises the kids and she's the household caretaker kind of role. Now, there's nothing particularly wrong with this arrangement. This is a fairly godly arrangement. And this doesn't mean that the father can't be more involved with the kids, and this doesn't mean that a woman can't enter into a more masculine role. In fact, it's actually quite healthy for both parties to embrace the other polarizing side of themselves. But because the woman, by nature, is the one who is naturally the caretaker, she's naturally the healer, she's naturally the one who's empathetic and so on. She's naturally the cleaner, right? And this has been passed down from generation to generation. When a man performs a feminine duty, she becomes more attracted. When he cooks, when he cleans, that's usually assigned to be the woman's role. But when he does it, man, is it attractive, especially to her, because it's like she's falling in love with herself. I'm telling you, she's falling in love with herself because she sees herself in the man when he does those things. This is why if she sees that he's really good with kids, preferably, she really admires that. And I want to point out here a asterisk, a thing that happens in most relationships or even marriages and why they fail. And that is often, if you watch the video, at first there's like this dirty household. It's assumed that this man is going to try and leave all that responsibility on the woman's shoulders, on his wife's shoulders, right? And this is where the masculine role gets abused. Because as the man, it is actually your responsibility. It is your curse, in a sense, that you must take on the masculine form. You must toil away at the soil amongst the weeds to grow food under the hot, blazing sun. It is the responsibility of the man to make a bunch of decisions. Now, again, this doesn't mean that the woman can't do any of those things. It is less attractive when she does them, in a sense. But when the man takes on those responsibilities, it alleviates the woman from having to do that, and it allows her to embrace her more feminine role, her natural role. What happens if the man neglects his masculine role, his God-given masculine role, and I don't like saying that so vaguely, is what happens, he leaves all the decision making on her. He leaves all the household duties on her. He leaves all the other responsibilities on her, and that weighs down on her. That puts her in a really bad position. And of course, as an effect, she's going to get very obviously weighed down, cranky, bitter, and then a lot of men in their marriages wonder why things went south. Now, maybe in a lot of marriages, the man has a clean household. This is a good sign. And so in that scenario, there's going to be more underlying things eating away at the woman than just a regular dirty household. Usually it could just be something like taking initiative, or the lack of it, actually. Like, imagine you do have a clean household. You're doing everything perfectly together. But if you've never actually initiated anything, you've never taken a step forward yourself, you've always just let her take the lead, always, this can lead to the divorce. I've seen women who are self-aware talk about this here on TikTok, where they go into great detail over the years of how this man never took on that role. He never took on the role of taking the initiative, taking the lead. He left all the responsibilities and decision-making processes on her, rather than him taking on that burden. So even if you have a clean household, just something vague like that, it's the small things, the invisible things that you don't see, that they have huge impact. So you want to make sure, let's say if there's a man in the relationship, it is his responsibility, his curse, to look at things from a bird's eye view and take care of everything that's going on around him. He can't neglect that duty. He can't neglect that responsibility. And if that doesn't make sense to you, imagine a woman who neglects her children. Imagine she's pregnant, she gives birth to multiple children, and she literally just bums around all day and neglects the children. It is very off-putting. Normally, that image is kind of given to like a neglectful father figure. But imagine the same for a woman, right? The woman is naturally neglecting her own feminine curse, you could say. And it's not really a curse, it is kind of more of a blessing. But if it's neglected, that's where the problems start happening. I've actually seen this in some cats. Some cats might be a bit more neglectful of their kittens than other cats, and you can see like there's a problem here. Now, to finish this off, I don't know if this is 100% true, but it makes me think, if a woman accepts a dirty nest, it makes me wonder, is there something wrong with her? Would there be something wrong with me if I was to accept a woman into my life who has a dirty household? And when we talk about household, we're talking about an unclean mind. Because whatever is happening in your mind is happening in your reality around you. I don't know if what I just said there is 100% true or not. It's just a thought that I came across, and I'm wondering if it's true or not. And that's the end of this video. I'll leave the actual video that we've been talking about here.
My wife went on a girls' trip this weekend and left me here to babysit her 2 kids, so this is what she's coming home to. Actually, the house is clean, the laundry's done, the grass is cut, the kids are bathed, and school lunch is already packed for tomorrow. Guys, it is not hard to be a contributing member to your household.